Hi, I'm Ferre. I'm here with Swenson, and this is one of our Property Deal of the Week videos where we get to review different property deals, either that we've done in some cases here, which we'll be talking about this week, or different property deals that we've looked at across the board in other markets. So looking forward to doing this week.
Yeah, absolutely. These are properties that we picked up in 2024. And the first property that we're going to take a look at was a property that we picked up at an on-site auction. Overall, was a pretty good deal. It was built in 1985, and it was about 1,300 square feet, just over 1,300 square feet.
Yeah, it's basically a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, half acre, and the properties that we pick up, we're picking up for pretty low prices on most all of these. In fact, properties, in order for us to be interested in buying it, we had to be able to pick it up for somewhere between probably 10 to 20 cents on the dollar, maybe 25 cents max, but chances are it's probably lower than that on this one.
Absolutely. So as far as some of the property details, at least it was built in the 80s. Obviously needs a little bit of work. We can see kind of the floor plan there.
Yeah, along with just an overall map here of the outline of the property. It sits on a good lot for the area, a good usable lot. You can see how the other lots there next to it, they had to double it up. This one is still combined. So it sits on the half acre. But ultimately the numbers on it are, final winning bid on it here was 3,700, which again, not very much that we paid for. It was one we really got, a good deal on. And the estimated value on the property, if it's fixed up, is about 125,000. And what we're looking at there is estimated repairs of about 35,000 on it in order to make it good and usable, and in order to yield a profit on it. So it's still going to require an investment, but we picked it up at such a low price that that investment's going to be able to make us a lot of money.
Absolutely. So we ended up picking it up for about a 4% of a bid to value ratio. And as far as that, we know that there's going to need some rehab into it. That's where we went ahead and allotted 35,000. Now it could be 5,000 less, it could be 5,000 more, but that's kind of the rough range of what we think it's going to cost to repair it, also to clean up the title, and with giving us a potential profit of about $85,000 on that. Now, again, that can sway $5,000 or $10,000, but kind of looking at the property, looking at the details, and looking what needs to be done, these are properties that we're actually going through the process now and starting to do rehabs on. Some of them we just might flip, but we'll actually be telling more details on these as we go through this process.
It's also worth noting that these were sales that we were attending there in person, and so they're properties that we also visited in person. And so when you're able to do that, when you're able to visit properties in person, you get additional perspective on what the condition of the property is like and what it's going to need. And really, it's information that's hard to replace. It's hard to replace even just with photos, but ultimately, that's what we do with a lot of properties as well. Is if we couldn't be there in person, we would at least drive by, or one of us would, and get photos of the property, so that we at least had current condition photos, so we knew what the condition was like right now, because it plays such an important role in your bidding. But the other thing that's a big factor is just keeping good low bids. As you can tell, we didn't bid very high on a property like this, and it was because we knew that it needed work, and so our maximum cutoff was probably not very high.
Yeah, I think it was about 10 grand. We ended up picking it up for cheaper, and that's a little bit outside of the main town there. And so that we've had to play that a little bit of a factor into it, but it's a good little community, a decent house, and some pretty good potential profit on it. In fact, Shade made a real good point about actually visiting and seeing the house in person. In fact, it's something that if you're one of our members in our membership program, you probably hear us say quite often: never buy a structured property sight unseen. Now, whether that's in person or if that's sending somebody out there to get photographs where you can see the roof, you can see the foundation, you can see aspects of it that can help you decide exactly what needs to be done there in person.
Yeah, something else that's worth noting too is when you are buying improved properties, it can help quite a bit if they're newer or if they were built sometime in the last 50 years. Okay, so if we have properties that are built in the 80s, then we know that by virtue of that age, that certain things were common by then, and so we're not going to, they're not going to be a problem. And so we're able to focus on things like, does it look like, things like the roofs, basic things you would look at the property. Does it look like it's been updated since 1985 or not? And that alone will tell you quite a bit about the property. If it's been updated, then maybe it doesn't need as much work. But yeah, I thought these were great properties. This was certainly a good one to pick up, and yeah, one that we picked up for less than we had planned on, or at least we had more room to bid on it.
Yeah, and Shade makes a really good point there. As far as being able to pick up the property at a great price, where there's plenty of good potential profit, and as far as the overall probability, very, very high. So if you're interested, please go ahead and check out our membership program. Go ahead and comment and subscribe. Put any of your comments down below and we'll get back to them.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching this video.